lost out from death, or have you gained from death? This is to everyone, let alone the death of a mu'min. Then the death of the ulama, then the death of the awliya, and going up ranks like this. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something from history that will refresh your iman. Let's look into history. And my site goes back to 1933. At the time of the ruler of the Arab world was King Faisal I. 1933, the ruler of the world, King Faisal I. In the history of Iraq and the history of the Arab world in 1933, if anyone cared to look, they will see this iman refreshing, subhanallah, event. What happened? Subhanallah, 1933, King Faisal I had a dream. And in his dream came a Sahabi of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hazrat Huzaifa Radi Allahu Anhu. And they said, my grave is getting damp. And Jabir bin Abdullah, who was next to him, two graves together, Hazrat Huzaifa and Hazrat Jabir bin Abdullah radiallahu anhu, both their graves together, were on the banks of which we know as Darya Dajjal. I think I've been informed the English name for that is the river Tigris.
Yes, true.
I may be incorrect in the English name, but that river. And he said, this is causing me problems. I need you to move me from here to a better place. This is history. Subhanallah. He woke up the next morning, got involved in worldly works, forgot about it. Second night, Hazrat Huzaifa radiallahu anhu came back to him. So I told you the night before that the water is starting to come to me. Now it's uncomfortable. And even Jabir radiallahu anhu, place is getting damp. We need to be moved. Again he woke up the next morning, got stuck into worldly affairs, didn't do anything. Then the Mufti-e-Azam of Iraq, Mufti-e-Azam of Iraq, he had a dream of Hazrat Huzaifa. And Hazrat Huzaifa radiallahu anhu told him the same thing. Water's coming in, I'm getting uncomfortable. And Jabir's place is damp as well. We've been to that Faisal, he's not taking any notice. You do something.
No.
He woke up in the morning and thought, what a dream. I went to the minister and said, well, let's go and see the king. So they went to see King Faisal and they talked with King Faisal and he said, I've had a dream of Hazrat Huzaifa radiallahu anhu who says, the water is coming, I'm getting uncomfortable, and Jabir's place is damp too, we need to be moved. Subhanallah. When the king heard this, he said, well, for 2 nights continuously, I too have been having this dream. But due to political reasons and scholarly opinions, I have been unable to action this. What do we do? You're the Mufti, you give the fatwa, we'll do the action. And the Mufti gave the fatwa to move these two Sahaba from the river banks. And the first date which was fixed was the 10th of Dhul Hajj, 1933, to do this great deed. But when the news was spread via media newspapers, via the newspapers of that time, the news was spread, and people started complaining that we are performing Hajj and we are away from our countries, please move this day so more and more of us can attend, especially us who live in Iraq. So again the Mufti came back to the king and said, people are sending messages, this and this. He said, okay, let us move the day to 20 Dhul Hajj. And history records, history records that on the 20th of Dhul Hajj, 1933, in the gathering of hundreds and thousands of Muslims from all over the Arab world, ambassadors of other countries, scholars of the Arab world, Hazrat Huzaifa Radi Allahu Anhu and Hazrat Jabir bin Abdullah Radi Allahu Anhu, their graves were opened and their bodies were retrieved, and everyone saw that their bodies were shining like the moon itself. Subhanallah. Their beards were like this, their faces were shining, and the way the graves were, when they put stretchers next to them, the bodies came upon them stretchers themselves. Subhanallah. 1933. Nowadays, the kings should look back at the history. The kings should look back at the history. And this happened in the time of King Faisal I. History is factual. And hundreds and thousands witnessed. Subhanallah. How lucky were those hundreds and thousands? How lucky were those people who 1400 years later got to see the blessed Sahaba of Rasulullah. They were intact. Their coffin was intact. Shaheed. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. These are signs for a mu'min. These are signs for a mu'min that the righteous are rewarded thus. Because everyone now and again falters and weakens. Falters and weakens, and we're always looking for encouragement in our soul and spirit. We're always looking for that light of guidance. That's something that will give our iman a boost. Subhanallah, what bigger boost could anyone have had in 1933? And then you're talking about, Subhanallah, the Shaheed. بل أحياء ولكن لا يشعرون. بل أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون. The Quran itself says. The Quran itself says they are alive. And not only are they alive, but they receive sustenance from Allah. Subhanallah. We are not going to go into the categories of Shaheed. Time is not permitting it. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. May Allah, when the time for our souls to leave our body arrives, may we be with full iman. And with full iman, I mean the Sirat-e-Mustaqim. And the Sirat-e-Mustaqim, I mean the Ahl-e-Sunnah wal-Jama'ah. Point of Aqidah is this. And the sign of the righteousness is this. Nowadays there is many confusions, many schools of thoughts and opinions. And lately I heard on the YouTube, you are familiar with YouTube?